Hey guys, my name is Simpzy. How you all doing? Welcome back to some more Medieval Kingdoms Total War 1212 AD. Here today on the channel, we have another online multiplayer battle replay. This time around, it's a 2v2. We have an alliance between the Kingdom of France and Burgundy and the Kingdom of Jerusalem and Cyprus allying up with Sicily. So if you like the sound of that, feel free to leave the video a like and subscribe if you're new. I'd really much appreciate it. Let me know in the comments as well your predictions. Who do you think is going to win? Will it be the Sicilian Crusader Alliance or the Burgundy France one? It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a close one. Let's get underway. Also, feel free to join my Discord, linked in the description below, and send me on over your online battle replays for me to cover on the channel. I'd really much appreciate it. Preferably online multiplayer and not a multiple hour save either, please. Some of your battles you guys play are just way too long. They're nearly as long as movies. But anyway, let's get stuck into the battle as both sides slowly but surely make their way up to no man's land. So, what's the situation for this one? I don't know. I can't see the Crusader states allying up with Sicily and going to war with France and Burgundy. I don't know. Maybe they want to conquer the territory to form another Principality of Antioch in the east, but they're fighting in a desert map. I don't know. You guys need to design the scenario in this one. I'm usually good at crafting ones just off the top of my head, but I'm out of ideas for this one. Okay, so looking at the battle map, mostly flat. There is a little bit of bog and some pits and some low grounds here and there. There is a not huge, but a small little town on the western part, which you're gonna have to watch out for. Look, you can use that to your advantage. It will stop cavalry flanking and rotation on the left-hand side if the player can sort of hug and hold his forces up there. So, both sides slowly but surely getting into position. Yeah, so there's a small little barbarian fort by the look of it. Alright, looking at the deployment, it's nothing too crazy. France has about 2,000. Burgundy with about 2,000 as well. Sicily with 2,000. However, the Crusader states have bought 2,400. So there's a slight numerical advantage, but only by a handful of units here and there, which is negligible usually in these fights anyway. Okay, so it looks like the eastern far right side there is probably going to engage firstly. Both sides have some handgunners, crossbows, and archers. But overall, it's quite even across the battlefield. Alright, so we've got some handgunners moving up, and crossbows. There might be some skirmish fire breaking out here in a moment. So we've got some French pushing on up. They're going to get a shot off here before the crossbows do. So on the right-hand side of the screen, in front of us, we have the French and Burgundy Alliance. And over in the red icons, we have the Crusade States and Sicily, who are moving their general on the left-hand side. So the French handgunners are getting some shots off here against their Crusader Sicily counterparts. And it looks like as well, France is drawing back, trying to draw some enemy cavalry in, potentially to a ambush as well. The cavalry is hiding in the forest here. They moved their general there, so they might be able to bait and draw out the enemy cavalry, particularly if there's a general unit here as well. So cavalry are starting to engage. We have France versing Burgundy. Sorry, Sicily. Oh, who's going to win this one? Okay, oh, here we go. The Crusader General is now getting stuck in. And they're going to be hoping to try and get the RNG of bringing down the enemy general if they're lucky. Oh, look at this. We've got a decent Burgundy charge here against some handgunners that have overextended in this farmland. Yeah, so there's a little bit of terrain, as you can see. Like, there's some weird high rises and uneven ground. And the Sicilian handgunners have capitulated. Okay, so the Crusader states are more on this right-hand side, and they're actually bringing in their infantry to support their cavalry offensive. So they are overextending slightly. Handgunners still trading on the left and right. However, the Burgundy cavalry are getting quite close to the Sicilian front line. Got a little bit of trading at the moment here. It does look like, however, the French are probably winning this out on the left. Still quite close, even though they moved up some infantry. The Crusade states, that is. And they're now withdrawing back. Handgunners still getting shots off at each other. Mercenary crossbows as well. All are on a loose formation, just to negate some of those losses. So nothing too crazy. A little bit of a cavalry conflict on the flanks. And maybe here in the center as well. Burgundy and Sicily seem to be trading more so. And then there's just skirmish fire throughout. So both sides are still yet to deploy their front lines and the majority of their infantry. Handgunners have moved back slightly here, but still quite close. More so favoured for the Sicilian and Crusader alliance by the look of it. Okay, and most of the cavalry on this side here where we're looking is in reserve. They haven't really fought, which is interesting. Alright, let's speed things up because they're just skirmishing at the moment. A couple units are being traded here and there. Okay, looks like Sicily is moving up some cavalry. And looks like Burgundy's going to answer the charge with a frontal assault and then looking to wrap around the back. Okay, so now all of the cavalry on the battlefield has been engaged at some point. Okay, there's a mound here in the way as well, which is negating some of the firepower. It seems to be like they're shooting through the mound by the look of it though. Crazy. Okay, I've got some longbowmen there, getting their shots off. But yeah, it's just a battle of skirmishes at the moment. Oh wow, look at this. Okay, so their infantry is pushed up well. They're clustering. Still some more skirmisher fire here. Handgunners still peppering. But yet, still both sides are yet to commit. Well, here we go. Looks like they might actually charge. Handgunners still firing. Trying to weaken the enemy opposition as they come on in. And France is going to have to form up a position here, as the Crusade states are going to make the first real charge and take the initiative. And it looks like Sicily's going to do the same as well. But not as fast. They are slowly but surely edging closer. The Sicilians are really putting the pressure on the Burgundy, the men of Burgundy here. Both sides trading quite effectively. Man, oh man, this is way too close to call. Once again, I don't know who's going to win this one out in this 2v2 multiplayer battle. But it looks like the Sicilian and the Crusade states are the ones that are going to take the initiative and bring the fight to the infantry and the front line. They've made the decision to sally out and charge and start engaging. France and Burgundy now into a defensive position. They are only in a stone throw away now. And surely it's only a matter of time before they start engaging. They are so close there. However, the Crusade states are fully committed. We've got some Crusader sergeants testing some French halberds there. Okay. So it's quite a dry winter's day in this battlefield. There isn't much thick snow coverage left anymore. Most of it's melted away. Alright, okay, so we've got some French pikes holding on here quite well. It's going to be a hard task for those Crusader Knights, unless they can wrap around and get some arrow fire support to help out. They are really going to struggle to break through. The line upon line, the rack upon rack of pikes. Okay, we've got some cavalry charges coming on in here. Decent charge to try and neutralize those handgunners. But it looks like the Crusaders have the cavalry supremacy over here. Although the French cavalry here is doing particularly well against this unit. Okay. Casualties wise, it looks quite close. Even though there was a 400 or so manpower swayed or difference between the sides, maybe closer to 5 on the side of Antioch, it's actually drawn about even now. As looking at the routing units, it actually looks like the Sicilians and the Crusade states are losing the momentum. Oh wow, it's changed even again. Still fierce fighting going on, battling it out. Each other smashing shields, clanging swords together. Jousting going on out. My God. My God. Who's going to win this day? Okay, the French are holding there well. It does look like the Sicilians and the Crusaders are more susceptible to be routing and at least retreating from the battlefield. They seem to be wavering a lot more. Poor fella. He was destroyed and ran on through. A perfect hit, if I dare say. Okay, what's going on over here? Some French no, this might be Burgundy cavalry coming on in. Alright. Handgunners couldn't get their shots off. Decently heavy armoured those. And what's going over here? Some more pockets of fighting going out. Burgundy. They're still holding on well against those heavily armoured infantry. So tactically nothing crazy too much is happening. Basically just trading at the moment. Same with the cavalry. No one was really flanking hard. It just turned into flanking blobs and then skirmishing back and forth. No one was either to break or punch through. It's just going to be who can statistically outperform the other. But to be honest, this right-hand side of Sicily is mostly melted away. And they seem to be the faction that's been mostly decimated. Sicily. The Crusade states, with their additional numbers, seem to be holding on more so. But once again, it's another great and glorious 1212 AD battle. Okay, so it's now in favour of France and Burgundy, you'd say. But there seems to be a lot more units on that left-hand side. Sicily and Burgundy have really traded costly here. Both sides have lost significant men, while the French and Crusade states still have a couple more on this left-hand side. To be honest, it's not looking good for the last of Sicily and the Crusaders. France still has a decent amount of a mixture of infantry, handgunners, even some cavalry in reserve. Okay, whittling down some Crusaders here that are holding in the centre. But there seems to be a decent amount on this left-hand side. Looks like France is making a defensive blocked. I don't know what's going on with these Crusaders here. Maybe they're bugged on out. I hope it's not a bugged save. Because so far it's been a quite exceptional battle replay. Okay, so they outnumber them 2-1 now. Burgundy and France numerically. It's probably only a matter of time before Sicily and the Crusade states potentially lose this one on out. Fighting to the bitter end. Their enemy have rallied. Yeah, so it looks a lot more clinical on this side. Yeah, maybe they've been routed and they're just in the field when they shouldn't be. Because they're just not moving. And I think they are, yeah. Oh, anyway, it was a close Burgundy victory. Which is probably realistic when you look at it, yeah. So looking at the casualties sustained and inflicted, the France and Burgundy alliance won out. So they deployed 4,000 in total, while the Kingdom of Sicily and the Crusade states deployed 4,500. So difference-wise, it wasn't too many. Here are the casualties sustained and inflicted. Both generals managed to get 100 kills each, which is quite cool. And the infantry and the archers did quite well. Alrighty guys, thank you very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this battle replay. Got to say a huge shout out to the players in this online match, of course. Big thanks to them once again. But stay tuned for more Total War campaigns and battle replays on the channel. Alright guys, I'm going to play the outro now. Goodbye. Unfortunately, it's time to end the video here. Thank you very much for watching. Check out my social media links in the description below if you want to stay connected with me. I also want to say thank you to this month's patrons and channel members: Victor K, Sebastian C, Jordan K, Caesar L, Brian S, Tao, Lion B, Kyle P, Tom C and White P. My name has been Simpzy. Much love from Australia. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.